Welcome to At Home with Gizzelle. I'm Gizzelle. As some of you know, I'm a native Oregonian, and Oregon has been in the news a lot lately, and not all of it's been good. But one of the things you might not be hearing as much about is that State Representative Greg Walden, who I met once many years ago, has been leading the charge to get broadband connectivity to rural areas to support both the Work From Home initiative and to provide students with the ability to connect to learning resources. I hope more of our country's leaders take up this cause and push to make internet just as available as water and power, but not in the creepy Malcolm McDowell and Tank Girl way. Many of us are ordering our groceries online for delivery to avoid going to the grocery store and because it's super convenient. This week it was reported that the personal data of Instacart users is being sold online on the dark web for around $2 per person. Instacart denies there's been a breach of their systems, but is investigating the issue. The data could have been leaked through phishing attacks or credential stuffing, which is a good reason we should all be using unique passwords and a password manager. One of the areas of technology that has always captured my interest is unified communications. Phone, chat, text, I just love staying in touch with people. Equinix is hosting a 15-minute tech talk on July 30th on how our tools can help you deliver the best voice quality experience possible while still supporting a remote workforce. It's absolutely worth 15 minutes of your time to attend. Registration link is in the video description. Oh, and the presenter for the Tech Talk, Josh Sordelay, is also participating in another event next week.
Josh Sordelay with Equinix. Brian Page with Xylogix. They go head to head in the hybrid cloud edition of Engineered Deathmatch, July 29th at noon Pacific.
Registration link for that event is also in the video description. Antivirus isn't the most alluring topic. In fact, knowing that historically antivirus used to slow down computers, took a lot of time to manage, and didn't always protect like it should, it's hard to want to give antivirus the attention it needs. The industry needed to find a different way, and that's where solutions like CrowdStrike came to play, with an intelligent solution that actually made the lives of administrators more simple. Today I've invited Brendan Kremian from CrowdStrike to chat with us about how they made Endpoint great again. Brendan, it's so great to have you here today. Give us a quick overview of what exactly CrowdStrike does.
Thanks for having me, Gizzelle. So CrowdStrike is a cloud-native endpoint protection company. Basically what that means is you have one piece of software, goes on your devices, those devices communicate up with the cloud, and you manage their security from that cloud interface, no matter where those devices are. And for the customer, what that means is everything's a lot easier to keep track of, to update. You get the latest protection without having to deal with stuff like legacy updates. And we can add in new features since everything that we do is powered off that one piece of software really easily.
When CrowdStrike came into the endpoint market, it really shook things up. What is it that really makes you different from others in your space?
So I think the really cool thing about CrowdStrike and the reason that we've been so successful and gained so many customers over the last few years is just the fact that we can really meet anybody's needs depending on their maturity in terms of what their security team can do, or we can back them up and take over those responsibilities when they don't have the people that can do that security work.
How does that work? What levels of service do you offer to provide the right fit for organizations looking for an extra hand?
So you can use the Falcon platform as your drop-in replacement for your AV that you use today, or it can enable your team to threat hunt across the environment, figure out that bad activity that's happening as it's happening, that sort of stuff that technology doesn't catch. And because we're entirely cloud-based, we have people like the Falcon Overwatch team that looks at all that data coming in from all those endpoints around the world and finds those threats and notifies our customers on their behalf, or even the Falcon Complete team, which goes in and remediates it for them. So having someone there 24/7, fixing the problem for you and letting you know after the fact, this is what happened, this is what we did to take care of it, without you having to worry about it. We even had a customer that said, because of you, I was able to go to Disneyland, which was a good story.
I'd like a trip to Disneyland at some point in the future, if it ever opens up again. What size organizations do you typically work with? Who are you seeing taking advantage of your service?
We really span the range. I mean, I think part of it goes back to that maturity discussion. Those smaller customers, lots of times they don't have the tools, the resources to understand really that, in-depth granular data that you can get from our platform. So they may get that, simpler product, the Pro, right? Versus those larger customers that have very specific needs. They need threat intelligence, they need an advisor, they need people to cover for them after hours. So it really scales. In my region, I cover government and healthcare in the Northwest. So all my customers are pretty big, hundreds of thousands of computers. But we definitely have ones that are in the hundreds, in the dozens. I think our smallest customer at one point had 3 endpoints. So we typically kind of cut it off at about 5, but I think you'll find our really customers span the range, and I think right now we're about half of like the Fortune 100. So all the big customers definitely use us too.
One of the many cool things about your offering is all of the APIs you offer for custom development, which I know you've spent a lot of time on. What's your favorite thing that you've developed so far in the platform?
I'd say one of the most useful things that I got to make, because our APIs really span the range. There's lots of different things that you can do with them. And I think the most exciting part is that you can use them to interact with your computers that have the CrowdStrike agent. And that means, I'm going to run some script to do something, to gather data, to install something, whatever. But I wrote a script for a customer that, because of COVID, they have a lot of people out in the field that are getting new computers and they have no way to set them up, get Falcon installed. And I provided them with a self-contained script that they run. It reaches out, it figures out what version it should download. It downloads it and installs it, and then it deletes basically the script, the installer, and any trace that it was on the computer. So it, fully contained, installs itself and gets you going just from that one script.
That's all really great information. Any final thoughts for our viewers?
Definitely feel free to visit our website or get in touch with Gizzelle if you want to find out more, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
That's it for today's At Home with Gizzelle. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.